Alright, welcome back to the channel and the continuation of our bat van build. And today we're going to get ahead and started on the propane. And so I've got things situated and yeah, we're ready to go. And got a few little pieces of wood I need to tack on, get our strap hold downs in place. Then we can hook up that propane. So if you want to see how I'm doing it, stick around. Okay, so here is where we are at. So I went ahead and made a little template here on the bottom that my tank sits into. And I need to fasten this board across the top and this board right here. And that is where my straps are going to go. One here and one on this side. That way we can loop it around and tie our tank in. And that's gonna sit right there, and once it's strapped down it won't be going anywhere. And then we can start our plumbing, get it over, and I'm just using a 5-foot hose to the tank, to the fitting, and that'll get me by for the weekend. So let's go ahead and get these pieces attached. I'm going to go ahead and glue and staple those, and then we'll go ahead and get the little pad eyes fastened on. All right, a little flash update here for you. So we do have our braces here installed, and the vertical piece, and the straps are on both sides. And I do have the strap on, and it's looped around double. So that thing is not going anywhere, and it should be rattle free. Now the next thing we need to do is get our gas line, and we'll connect it to here. And then figure out how we're going to route that over to the stove and turn things on, test for leaks. Alright, so we do have our gas line connected to the tank. Tank is off at the moment, and we routed the hosing. It will be under here, comes up through a hole here. We will run it up like this and over to our fitting over here. So the next step is to shut everything up. Next step is to undo the stove, get our line in. We'll attach that, turn the tank on, check for leaks, and then we can put things back in place and wire clamp all of our hosing. So that's our next step. Let's rip this thing out of here and get that hose connected. All right, so we have the stove apart, and I've got all the connections made. Now it's just a matter of turning on the gas and testing for leaks. So I do have a little bottle of soapy solution here that's kind of leaking everywhere. We'll spray that on there, and hopefully there's no leaks. So wish me luck. All right, here we go. Gas is on. And now, hopefully we don't have any leaks. Let me put some paper towel under there. And I don't see any leaks here. Alright, so we're going to call that one good. Test behind here. I don't see any bubbles. No bubbles. Okay. Next we'll try under the sink here and get that one tested. do not see any bubbles. So I'm gonna say we have no leaks. All right. Now we can put the stove back together and give it a try. Wish me luck. All right. So here's another little update. So I did drill a hole, run my wiring for the on-off knobs here, and connected my gas line. Gas line comes underneath and is cable clamped in place. These are the steel with the coated rubber, and I wire tied my electrical cord. Well, my wiring there. That's one. And then it comes out down here as well. Turn that around just a little bit. There, so it's not so good. Sweet. All right, that's the outside. And on the inside, I run my wiring up and underneath the counter through my cable clamps, out my hole, and out here through the cable clamps and into the 12-volt fuse block. And I run out of small fuses, so I did stick a 10 amp in there. That's going to be changed. Probably put a 2.5 on all these little ones once it's all said and done. Now, if I stand back here, I do have quite the mess going on. So let me clean up my mess. We'll put the stove back together, and then we'll try everything out and make sure everything works. Okay, as always, hang in there. We'll be right back. All right, well, for the most part, we are now cleaned up and ready to try everything out. So let's go ahead and turn the gas on. Go down here and turn that on. Lift up our glass here. And we have fire. That's one. 2, 3. So everything works real nice. And our lights work. Sweet. Let me close that door and try it again and see some flame. All right, now with the door closed and the sun out of our eyes. Ooh, look how pretty. Right on. Try it one more time here. Got 1, 2, 3. Burners are burning. Very nice. Okay, so we've got the burners working. Now it's time to check out the stove. So let's go ahead and set that bad boy there. And to operate the stove, turn the selector switch on to the little flame. We're going to push and hold that. We're going to turn our dial. Boom. Till we get a little flame. And you see that flame in there? And we're going to continue to hold that button for about 10-15 seconds. Should be able to let go of it. There we go. And now we turn our dial Ooh, thing's fired right up. Sweet. Turn the light on. Got a nice little stove light. We can see our biscuits burning. Cool. Turn it off. Flame is out. Yes. All right. Stove checked out. All right, well, thanks for sticking it out this far, and we got a lot done. So all of our propane is plugged, and the stove works fine. Got the wiring hooked up and to the fuse block, and the lights work. So I'm pretty tickled about that. That is out of the way. I think the next little task that I'm going to do is I've got a refrigerator that I'm sitting on top of that we have to get wired up, and we only have a few more days left to do it. And then I did order another water tank. The 2 water tanks that I have, I don't like them. They've got that one big long nipple hanging out the back, and yeah, I don't like it. I'd rather have the screw-in type. So I do have one more. It's a 7-gallon. These 2 are 10 gallons, so a 7-gallon sit under here and work just fine for a gray water tank. And then once the trip's over, we'll start worrying about plumbing up the water tank here in the back, hooking up the water pump, getting things plumbed up to the water line, and boom, hopefully that's done. And then it's just a matter of odds and ends. I still have some paneling on the doors that I have to get done, and a couple of other little odds and ends, and we are pretty close to being almost finished. I still want to install a rack on top with the solar power and run that inside to a solar controller. So probably a lot to get done, but little chunks at a time, you know. All right, so appreciate all the comments and all the thumbs up and the likes and all that good stuff. You guys are really kind. And with that, well, you know what I'm going to say. Stay tuned.